Every one of us has wished for something. A second chance, more money, better health, more time with someone we've lost. Sometimes it's nothing more than a passing thought, something whispered to ourselves before we sleep. Other times it's the kind of wish we'd give anything to see come true. And tonight, something is promising exactly that. No one seems to know exactly where One Wish Willow came from. Just a simple product, resting quietly on a store shelf. Inside the box are simple instructions. Break the willow, make one wish, and wait. Some people never open the package. Others throw it away without a second thought. But others discover their wish came true, and not always in the way they imagined. Tonight, we're not following the customers. We're listening to the people answering the phones after the wishes have been granted, the complaints and the regrets. Before we answer tonight's first call, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps keep our customer care line open for everyone searching for strange signals. And if you'd like to support the project a little further, you'll find a few ways waiting for you in the description. The customer care line is open. So, turn off the lights and settle in. The transmission starts now. Thanks for calling customer care. This call may be monitored or recorded. How may I help you today?
Hi. I'm hoping maybe you can answer a question for me. I don't really know if this is a compliment or... I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to understand what happened. I bought one of your willows about 6 weeks ago, and everything seemed fine at first. I thought it hadn't worked, but now I'm not so sure.
I'd be happy to discuss your experience with you, sir. Could you please tell me what wish you made?
My wife has had depression for years. We've tried therapy, medication, everything her doctors recommended. I hated seeing her like that. So when I got the willow, I wished she'd smile again. That's all I wanted. Just one genuine smile.
I understand. After you made your wish, did you notice a change?
Yeah. The very next morning, she smiled when she woke up. Biggest smile I'd seen in years. I actually cried because I thought maybe this thing really worked. She smiled throughout breakfast, smiled while getting ready for work, smiled all the way out of the front door. I thought we'd finally gotten our life back.
And when did your concerns begin?
A couple of days later, I realized she never stopped smiling. Not once. She smiles while she's doing the dishes, while she's driving, while she's sitting on the couch watching television. Last week, her mother called to tell us her brother had died, and she just kept smiling through the entire phone call. Tears running down her face, but that same smile never moved. She says her face hurts. She says she's exhausted from holding it. But she isn't holding it. The doctors can't explain it. They tell her to relax her muscles, and she keeps telling them she's trying. At night, she falls asleep smiling. She wakes up smiling. I don't think she's actually been happy once since I made that wish.
Unfortunately, based on what you've described, it does appear your wish was granted. I'm unable to alter or reverse wishes once they've taken effect.
I don't want to reverse the wish. I want my wife back. I'd rather she cried every day for the rest of her life than whatever this is now. She doesn't even look like herself anymore. She just sits there, smiling at me.
So you'd like to cancel the wish?
Yes.
Sorry, we don't do that. Have a good evening. Thank you for calling One Wish Willow Customer Care. This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance. How may I help you today?
Hi. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm calling the right department. I bought one of your willows a few months ago. At first, I thought everything was exactly what I wanted. I even laughed about it for a while. It seemed too good to be true. But these last couple of weeks, I don't think I understand what my wish really did anymore.
That's all right, sir. You're not the first person who's called with questions after a wish. Let's take this one step at a time. Do you mind telling me what you wished for?
I wished I'd never be alone again. It sounds pathetic when I say it out loud. But I'd gone through a divorce. My daughter moved across the country. I was spending every evening sitting in the same quiet house. I didn't ask for money or immortality or anything like that. I just didn't want to come home to an empty place anymore.
I understand, and thank you for explaining that. Can you tell me what changed after your wish was granted? Did something happen immediately, or was it something you noticed over time?
It was, gradual. At first, it was little things that were easy to dismiss. I'd hear footsteps after I'd already locked the house up for the night, or find a kitchen cabinet standing open that I knew I'd closed. I'd blame myself, tell myself I was tired, distracted. And, then I started noticing things. Chairs moved just enough I knew someone sat in them. It was never a lot, just enough.
Have you noticed any evidence that someone else might actually be entering your home? We always recommend ruling out ordinary explanations before assuming your experience is connected to a granted wish. Have you contacted the police or checked your home for signs of forced entry?
I did all of that. I changed every lock in the house, installed cameras inside and outside. I even had a buddy from work stay with me for a weekend because I thought maybe I was losing my mind. Nobody ever showed up. The cameras never recorded another person walking through my house, but they did record me. That's the part I can't explain.
What exactly did the cameras record that concerned you?
I'll sit down on the couch and slide over like I'm making room for somebody beside me. Sometimes I'll stop in the hallway and nod like I'm listening to someone finish talking before I answer. Last night I watched almost 6 hours of footage. There were at least a dozen moments where I smiled, laughed, held doors open, or turned towards someone who wasn't there. Every single camera angle showed the same thing.
Well, I appreciate you explaining everything so clearly. I know these experiences can be difficult to describe. Before I see what information I can provide, I need to ask you one more question. Has anyone else witnessed this in person or only on your security footage?
Nobody else has seen it. My friends, they think I'm exhausted. And my daughter keeps telling me to go to a doctor, and maybe they're right. I honestly don't know anymore. I just know I wished I'd never be alone again, and every day since it feels less and less like I am. So, I guess why I called really is there any way to undo a wish?
Based on what you've described, it sounds consistent with a wish that has already been granted. Unfortunately, once a wish reaches that stage, we're not able to modify, reverse, or cancel its effects. Very sorry, but there's really nothing further I can do for you tonight.
So that's it? I just live like this? I spend the rest of my life wondering who's sitting beside me, who's walking through my house, who's waiting for me when I get home. Has to be someone higher up, a supervisor or someone.
We do have supervisors, but they're going to tell you the same thing I'm about to tell you. Once a wish has taken root, it belongs to you. Our role is simply to document your experience and answer any questions we can.
I don't want it anymore.
Good night, sir. Thank you for calling Wish Willow Customer Care. This call may be monitored or recorded. How may I help you?
Hi. I think I made a mistake. I don't want my wish anymore. I know you probably can't undo it, but I really need some advice.
I'd be happy to discuss your experience with you. If you don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
I've always kept exotic pets. Snakes, monitor lizards, scorpions, but my favorite was always my tarantula. His name's Charlie. I've had him almost 11 years. He's never bitten anybody. I'd take him out while I watched TV. He'd just sit on my shoulder. Honestly, he was probably the calmest pet I've ever owned.
Mm-hmm. And what did you wish for?
Nothing crazy. I just wished Charlie was stronger. That's all. He was getting older, slowing down, and I hated watching it happen. I figured maybe he'd be a little healthier, a little tougher. I wasn't trying to change what he was.
And your wish was granted?
Oh, absolutely. Within a week, he started getting bigger. At first, I thought I was just imagining it. Then he molted and came out almost twice the size. The next molt, bigger again. It just never stopped.
How large would you estimate Charlie is now?
About the size of a motorcycle, maybe a little bigger. His legs touch both walls when he stretches.
I see. And where is Charlie the spider currently?
The basement. I had to move him down there about a month ago. He outgrew the terrarium, then he outgrew the spare bedroom, and now the basement's about the only place he'll fit.
Has he displayed aggressive behavior?
No, not toward me. He's still Charlie. When I come downstairs, he walks over so I can scratch behind his eyes. He still recognizes my voice. He even does this little tapping thing with his front legs whenever I bring food.
Okay, well, I think you mentioned needing advice.
Well, I don't know what to feed him anymore. Crickets obviously stopped working months ago, then mice, then rabbits. I've been buying whole chickens, and he eats those in about 30 seconds. I'm running out of ideas.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah. My neighbor came over yesterday. I asked him to help move an old freezer downstairs. Charlie startled him. He kind of grabbed him.
Do you mind clarifying what you mean by grabbed him?
Well, he wrapped him up. Not aggressively, more like the way spiders do. I figured Charlie was just confused. My neighbor's still alive. I can hear him yelling every now and then. I don't really know how to get him out without upsetting Charlie. Do you happen to have, I don't know, some kind of care guide? Maybe a feeding chart or a recommended enclosure size?
I'm sorry. At this time, we don't provide any guidance for oversized arachnids.
Yeah. I figured it was worth asking.
From what you're telling me, it seems like your wish was granted, and successfully.
All right. Thanks for your time, I guess.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling One Wish Willow Customer Care. Willow Customer Care, how may I help you? Just be advised, this call may be monitored and recorded.
Hi, I'm not really sure if this qualifies as a customer service issue, but I don't really know who else to ask. I bought one of your willows about 4 months ago after my husband left. 22 years of marriage, and one morning he packed a bag, said he couldn't do it anymore, and drove away. I was desperate, and I made a wish that he'd come home.
I'm sorry you're going through a hard time. Can I start off by asking if your wish was granted?
Yes, that's the strange part. 3 days later, I heard the front door open around 6 in the evening, just like he used to after work. He walked inside, set his keys in the little bowl by the door, kissed me on the forehead, asked me what was for dinner. It was like he never left. I cried for an hour because I thought I'd been given a miracle.
And at what point did you start having concerns regarding your wish?
Little things at first. He stopped talking about where he'd been. Every time I asked, he'd just smile and change the subject. Then I realized he never called anyone anymore. His brother would leave voicemails, his friends would text him, his phone would ring, and he just let it happen. He never answered a single one.
Has your husband explained why?
No, because he barely says anything unless I speak first now. Every morning he leaves the house at exactly 7:30, and every evening he walks back in at exactly 6. I followed him once. He drove to an empty parking lot, turned the engine off, and just sat there for 10 hours. Then he drove home.
I see. And has his daily routine changed at all since he returned?
Not once. Every day is exactly the same. Same breakfast, same clothes, same words. Yesterday, I burnt dinner by accident. He took one bite, looked at me, smiled, and said, "It's perfect." That's when I realized he hasn't disagreed with me a single time since he came back.
Can I ask you one final question?
Of course.
Has he ever called you by your name?
No, I don't think he has. Not once.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'll make a note of it in your file. Have a pleasant evening. Willow Customer Care, thank you for calling. This call may be monitored and recorded. How can I help you?
Hi there. I hope this isn't too unusual, but I actually don't have a complaint. I wasn't even sure if people just called to say thank you. But I figured someone over there deserved to hear it. I've had my Willow for about 8 months now, and I honestly don't think a single day has gone by where I haven't been grateful for what it has done for my family.
Positive feedback is always welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to contact customer care. If you don't mind me asking, what wish did you make?
This is for my son. He was born with a spinal condition that left him unable to walk. We spent years going from specialist to specialist, trying surgeries, braces, physical therapy. Everything people told us might help. When nothing worked, I bought the Willow, broke it, and wished my little boy could run through our backyard like every other kid on the block. The very next morning, I'll never forget it, my wife screamed from upstairs, and I ran to his room thinking something terrible had happened. Instead, there he was, standing beside his bed. By that afternoon, he was taking steps. Within a week, he was running laps around the yard. He's 9 now, and I can't keep up with him anymore. Baseball, soccer, climbing trees, all the things we thought we'd only ever get to imagine. You have no idea what this means to a parent.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that you and your family had such a positive experience. I'll make sure your comments are added to your customer satisfaction report. Is your son continuing to do well?
Better than ever. He's healthy. He's happy. He wears me out every single weekend. We just got back from hiking together yesterday. There was a time I'd have given anything just to watch him walk across the living room. Yesterday I watched him race up a mountain. I lost, by the way. He made sure I knew it.
It's wonderful to hear. I'm glad everything continues to meet your expectations.
It really has. I know you're probably spent all day talking to people who regret their wishes or want answers you can't give them, but I just wanted someone over there to know sometimes you really do change lives for the better. Whatever One Wish Willow is, thank you.
You're very welcome. Before we conclude the call, I just need to ask a routine follow-up question for our records. Has your son ever described remembering what it was like before he was born?
What? No. Should he?
If he ever does, don't panic, but do not discourage it for your own safety. Thank you for calling One Wish Willow Customer Care and have a wonderful evening. This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance. Thank you for calling Willow Customer Care. How can I help you?
Hi. I wasn't sure this was something I should call about, but I figured if anyone will understand, it'd be the people who made the Willow. I made my wish about a week ago, and technically, it worked. That's actually why I'm calling. I don't think anything is wrong with the product.
Well, we here at Willow Customer Care are glad to hear your wish was successfully granted. If you don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
I've been blind since birth. Never saw a sunrise. Never saw my parents. Never saw my own face. Last week, I broke the Willow, and I wished I could see.
And was your vision restored?
Perfectly. According to every doctor I've seen, my eyes are completely healthy. They keep telling me it's a miracle. They keep smiling at me, asking what it's like seeing the world for the first time. I smile back because I know that's what they're expecting. The truth is, I don't know what I'm looking at half the time.
Could you get into that, please? Explain it a little further for me.
Everyone told me I'd finally be able to recognize faces. I can't. I know 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth are supposed to make a face, but when my wife walks into the room, it's just shapes. I know it's her because she speaks. If she stays quiet, she's just another person standing there. People point at things and tell me what they are, but the second they walk away, it's all meaningless again. It's like someone handed me a book in a language I've never seen before and expected me to read it.
Have your doctors discussed visual rehabilitation, occupational therapy, anything like that?
They have. They tell me my brain has to learn what my eyes are seeing. They say it'll take months, maybe years. But nobody warned me about the noise. Nobody warned me that seeing is loud. Grocery stores are unbearable. Every shelf, every package, every person walking past me, it's all fighting for my attention at once. I used to walk through my house without thinking. Now, I keep stopping because I'm overwhelmed by things I've never even knew were there.
Well, it sounds like it's been a very difficult adjustment.
Yesterday, my son handed me a crayon, drawing he made. Everyone kept asking me if I liked the colors. I just stared at it. I don't know what makes blue different from green, except that someone told me the names. Everyone always said sunsets were beautiful. I watched one last night, and all I could think was, is this what everyone else has been talking about? I felt like I was missing something that everybody else understood.
Well, sir, I appreciate you sharing your experience. Unfortunately, it sounds like your wish was fulfilled, and we're not able to reverse wishes.
I figured that's what you'd say. I don't even know if I wanted you to fix it. I think I just needed somebody to understand that getting exactly what I wished for wasn't the same as getting the life I imagined. Everyone around me thinks I'm living a miracle. I just feel lost.
No, I understand. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you for calling customer care. This call may be monitored or recorded. How can I help you?
Hi. This is probably going to sound strange, but I don't have a complaint. I actually just wanted to see if my wish really worked.
I'd be happy to discuss your experience with you, sir. If you don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
I'm 73, retired. I've spent 38 years as the night janitor at Lincoln High School. Never married, no kids of my own. Most days, people barely noticed I was there. Toward the end of my career, I started wondering if I'd actually made any difference at all. So, I wished my life mattered. Not to everybody, just to somebody.
And what happened after your wish?
Well, honestly, nothing. Months went by. I started to think maybe I asked for something too vague. Life just kept moving. I have a little place out by the lake. I started fishing, and people started to show up. The first one was a doctor. Knocked on my front door one morning. I had no idea who he was. He looked at me and said, "You probably don't remember me." Turns out he'd been a student at the school 25 years ago. He said one night I'd found him sitting alone outside after basketball practice. Apparently I sat with him for the better part of an hour. He told me he was thinking about quitting school, and I don't remember the conversation, but he said I convinced him to stay. Now he's an emergency room physician. He just wanted to shake my hand.
I see. And did anyone else visit?
Yes. A few weeks later, a woman said she drove 3 hours just to bring me a pie. She said her mom had worked nights cleaning classrooms with me, and when her mother got sick, I quietly covered all of her shifts for almost 2 months. I vaguely remember doing it, but she said without that paycheck, they would have lost their apartment. And then there was a police officer, a teacher, a mechanic. One guy remembered the little notes I used to leave on his desk before exams. Nothing fancy, but he said he carried those notes with him.
Well, sir, based on what you've told me, it sounds like your wish was granted successfully.
I don't know. I just realized I spent most of my life thinking nobody noticed me, and maybe I was wrong.
Well, sometimes the impact we have on others isn't visible until much later. I'm glad you chose to call and share your experience with us.
I wish I'd known sooner. Would have saved me a lot of lonely nights. Thank you. And whoever makes those willows, just tell them they did all right by me.
One Wish Willow Customer Care. This call may be monitored and recorded. Thank you for calling. How can I help you?
Hi. I'm hoping maybe you can answer a question that's been on my mind for a few weeks now. I don't have a complaint exactly. At least I don't think I do. My willow worked exactly the way I hoped it would. I don't know if I understand what I'm experiencing anymore.
Okay, let me start off with my usual first question. If you don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
Well, my dad passed away almost 10 years ago. Cancer. He never got to meet my kids, never got to see me buy my first house, never got to retire like he planned. I'd spent years wishing I could just, have one more conversation with him. So when I bought the willow, that's exactly what I wished for. I wished I could talk to my father again.
Okay, and was your wish granted?
Yeah. The very next night, 9 o'clock on the dot. My house phone rang. Nobody even uses that thing anymore, so I almost let it go to voicemail. I picked it up, and the first thing I heard was, "Hey, kiddo." That's what he always called me. Not my name, kiddo. I knew his voice immediately. We talked for almost half an hour, about work, about weather, about baseball. When I hung up, I just sat there crying.
Has this happened more than once?
Every night. 9 o'clock exactly. Never a minute early, never a minute late. We've talked about everything. He asks how my wife's doing. He asks how work's been treating me. Sometimes we just sit there laughing about stupid things we did when I was a kid. Honestly, those calls have become my favorite part of the day.
And what prompted you to contact customer care tonight?
Well, because something changed about a week ago. Nothing dramatic, just little things. He started asking me how my mother likes the kitchen remodel. The thing is, we didn't remodel that kitchen until 2 years after he died. Then he asked if my daughter was enjoying college. She wasn't even born when he passed away. At first I thought, maybe I'd mentioned those things before. But I went through my notes, and I never did.
I understand. Has the voice remained consistent throughout every conversation?
Exactly the same. Same laugh, same little cough before he tells a joke. Same habit of saying, "Listen here," whenever he thought I was about to argue with him. If I closed my eyes, I'd swear he was sitting right in the room with me. And that's what's making this so hard. Everything about him feels real, except for the things he shouldn't possibly know.
And have the conversations remained pleasant?
Yeah, that's the strange thing. He never threatened me, never asked me for anything. He just calls, we talk, and he tells me he'll call again tomorrow. If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you this Willow was the greatest purchase I'd ever made. I guess... And I just started wondering if there's something I should be worried about.
From what you're saying, it sounds like your wish is functioning as intended. Unfortunately, here at Customer Care, we can't determine the nature of granted wishes or the means by which they operate. We can only document your experience and answer your questions regarding our policies.
So, you can't tell me if it's really him? I wasn't expecting you to, I guess. I just, need to ask somebody. Because every night, right before 9, I find myself hoping the phone rings. And every night after we hang up, I end up grieving all over again. Actually, there was one thing. Last night, right before we hung up, he was quieter than usual. Then he said something he'd never said before. He just laughed a little and said, "When are you coming, kiddo?" I asked him what he meant, and then the line went dead.
If the nature of the conversation changes again, or if you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact customer care.
Do you think he'll call again tonight?
I'd probably expect your phone to ring at its usual time.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for calling Willow Customer Care. Have a pleasant evening. Willow Customer Care. This call may be monitored and recorded. How can I help you?
Hi. I think I need help. Real help. I've spent the last 3 days trying to convince myself I'm imagining this, but I don't think I am anymore. I made my wish about 2 months ago, and everything was fine until last week. Now, I can't even look in the mirror without feeling sick.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry to hear you're having a bad experience. What was your wish?
I wished that I finally stopped lying to myself. I spent years making excuses for everything. My marriage falling apart, drinking too much, blaming other people for my own mistakes. I thought if I could just be honest with myself for once, maybe I'd finally become a better man.
And after making this wish, what changes did you notice?
Honestly, I thought the will hadn't worked. Then one morning, I caught my reflection smile at me while I was brushing my teeth. The problem was, I wasn't smiling. I actually laughed because I figured my eyes were playing tricks on me. But it kept happening. Little things. A blink that came a second too late. My reflection turned its head toward me after I already walked away from the mirror.
Have you discussed any of this with a medical professional?
My doctor says I'm healthy. Eye exam was perfect. Therapist thinks I'm under stress, but this isn't stress. Yesterday I stood in front of my bathroom mirror for almost 20 minutes. I didn't move. Neither did my reflection. Until right before I walked away, it nodded at me. I swear to God, it nodded.
Uh-huh. Have these experiences been limited to, reflective surfaces?
That's why I'm calling. Store windows, the rear view mirror in my truck, my television when it's turned off, anything reflective. I started covering the mirrors in my house, and for a while that helped, but yesterday I saw myself on the screen of my microwave. I wasn't even standing in front of it.
Have you noticed any changes in the reflection itself? Clothing, injuries, facial features, anything at all that differs from your actual appearance?
It looks exactly like me. Exactly. It just doesn't always do what I do anymore. Sometimes it'll look over my shoulder. Sometimes it'll smile when I'm terrified. Last night, it raised its hand like it was waving goodbye. And I was standing perfectly still.
Well, first of all, thank you for explaining everything so thoroughly. Give me one moment while I review the information you provided. Thank you for waiting. Sir, based on the nature of your wish and the experiences you've described, I'm afraid this falls outside the scope of customer care. There are certain cases that require additional review, and yours appears to meet that criteria.
What does that mean? Can you tell me what's happening? Has this happened to somebody else?
I'm not authorized to answer those questions, sir. What I can do is transfer you to a supervisor who can assist you further.
Please. I don't care how long I have to wait. I just need somebody to tell me I'm not losing my mind.
No, of course. Please remain on the line while I connect you. And, sir, please hold. Your life may depend on it.
Thank you for holding. My name is Evelyn. I'm one of the customer care supervisors here at One Wish Willow. I've had an opportunity to review the notes from your representative, so there's no need to repeat everything unless you would like to. I understand you're experiencing unusual behavior involving your reflection.
Thank you for taking the call. I honestly didn't think I'd get the transfer to anybody. I just need someone to tell me what's happening. My doctor thinks I'm under stress. My therapist thinks I'm imagining, and now I'm afraid to even shave in the morning because I don't know what I'm going to see looking back at me.
I understand. Before we continue, I'd like you to know that everything you've described has been documented exactly as you've experienced it. You're speaking clearly, you're answering my questions appropriately, and I have no reason to believe you're fabricating any part of this call. Now, tell me how your reflection behaved today.
This morning, it was normal. At least I thought it was. I brushed my teeth, got dressed, and left for work. But when I came home, I caught my reflection in the front window before I locked the door. It was already standing inside the house. I was still on the porch, but it was just waiting for me.
I see. Has it attempted to communicate with you in any way?
Not with words. It smiles sometimes. Sometimes it just watches me. Last night, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror for almost an hour because I wanted to prove myself none of this was real. Right before I walked away, it lifted its hand. I didn't.
Thank you. That information is quite helpful.
Helpful? You're talking like this happens every day. Please, just tell me the truth. Am I losing my mind?
No.
Then what am I looking at? Has this happened before?
Yes.
What happened to those people?
Their experiences varied considerably.
That's not an answer. Did they survive?
Some did.
Some?
I'm sorry. I'm not authorized to discuss individual customer outcomes.
Then why sell these things? If you know this can happen, why keep selling them?
Because the overwhelming majority of our customers report complete satisfaction with their wish.
I don't believe you. So what am I supposed to do now? Just stop looking in mirrors? Hide in my house? Wait for whatever this thing is to replace me?
May I offer you some advice?
Please.
Don't challenge it. Don't imitate it. If it smiles, allow it to smile. If it waves, don't wave back. If it looks away, let it. And if one morning you find a mirror reflecting an empty room, don't try to find where it went.
How do you know that? Had this happened to you? Then how can you possibly know any of this? What does that even mean? Hello? Ma'am? Hello?
Thank you so much for calling Willow Customer Care. How may I help you today? Please be advised this call is monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Yeah, I think your product didn't work. Or maybe it worked wrong. I'm honestly not sure which.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can you tell me what wish you attempted to make?
Spent my whole life looking for something that made me feel alive. Money was never a problem. Traveled to more countries than I can remember, climbed mountains, dove shipwrecks, ate in the best restaurants in the world, skydived, raced cars, hiked jungles, you name it. I've probably done it. Somewhere along the way, everything just started feeling the same. I was never looking for riches or love. I just wanted something new. Something beyond anything I've ever experienced before. Something that made me feel the way I imagined people are supposed to feel.
So what happened after you made your wish?
Nothing. But about a week later, a package showed up on my doorstep. No shipping label, no return address. Just an old brown paper wrapping with a little carved box inside. I thought maybe it was part of the experience. Maybe your company makes people work for their wish.
Did your package contain a Willow Wish order or a tracking number, any kind of identifying information?
No, like I said, just the box. And I admit I've been obsessed with it ever since. I don't even know why. I keep telling myself I'm done with it, and then 20 minutes later I'm back at my desk turning it over in my hands again. Every time I solve one part of this puzzle box, another part shifts, like it wants me to open it. Just not yet.
Interesting. Can you describe the box for me?
It's small, heavy, kind of gold in color. There's strange geometric carvings in it. Seems old. Honestly, it's beautiful. I've bought art that costs more than many make in a year. This little thing, it's more beautiful than any of that.
I see. Has the box done anything unusual?
I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just not sleeping. Every time I try to solve it and I get closer, I hear something very faint. Like tiny bells. But they're not inside the house or even outside. They're far away. but every time they sound a little closer.
And the box remains unopened.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll stay that way much longer. I've almost got it figured out. And every time I touch it, those bells start again. I swear, it's like something knows I'm getting close. I'll solve it soon.
Thank you for calling Willow Customer Care. This call may be monitored and recorded. How can I help you?
Good evening. I am calling from London. I wasn't sure whether to ring, but I think I need someone to tell me I am not going mad.
I'd be more than happy to discuss your experience with you, sir. If you don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
My wife, she passed away 6 years ago. 41 years together. She was everything. After the funeral, people kept telling me time would make it easier. It didn't. So when I found One Wish Willow, I wish I could be with her again.
Okay, well, what happened?
About 3 weeks ago, something changed. Every morning, I catch the 7:42 into London. Same platform, same station, same routine for the last 20 years. Only now, a different train arrives first. It isn't on the departure board, it's the platform. Sign never changes. Nobody else seems to notice. It simply just glides into the station and waits.
Okay, does anyone board the train?
No, that's the strange part. Every carriage is empty. No driver, no passenger. The doors open and nothing happens. For maybe 30 seconds. Then, the announcement comes over the speaker.
What announcement?
It's my wife. Her voice. Not similar, not close. Her voice. Mind the gap, it says.
Has anyone else acknowledged hearing this?
No. Everyone just keeps staring at their phones, reading the newspaper, having conversations. It's like I'm the only one who hears her. The train sits there, doors open, and she says, "Mind the gap." Then, "This service is now boarding." After that, it pulls away empty. Every morning.
Okay, well, what prompted you to contact customer care today?
Because today, she said something different.
What did she say?
After the usual announcement, there was a pause. Then she laughed. The same laugh she had for 40 years. And she said, "There's plenty of room, love." Nobody reacted. Nobody looked up. It was just for me.
I see.
I keep telling myself I'm not going to get on. Every morning I promise myself. Then the doors open and I start walking. I stop every time, right at the edge, but I'm getting closer every day. I don't want to die. I really, really don't want to die. But if that's where she is, I'm afraid one morning I won't stop.
I'm sorry, sir. Here at Customer Care, we can't determine the destination of any granted wishes.
Do you think she's really be there?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Neither do I. I'm afraid to get on that train. God help me.
Thanks for calling Customer Care. This call may be monitored and recording for Wish Willow quality assurance. How can I help you?
Hi. I think I need to reverse my wish. I know that's probably not something you do, but I don't know who else to call.
Okay. Well, talk to me. Tell me about your wish and what's going on.
I've been gambling since I was 21. Blackjack, poker, craps, sports betting, horses. If somebody was willing to take my money, I was willing to give it to them. I lost 2 marriages because of it. Lost my house, lost friends. I kept telling myself all I needed was one lucky streak to get everything back. Then I found your Willow.
And what did you wish for?
I'd wished I'd never lose another bet. It seemed simple enough. I figured maybe I'd finally catch a break.
And was the wish granted?
Every single time. First night I won 3 hands of blackjack in a row, then 20. Then I hit every sports bet that weekend. I started betting things I knew nothing about, horse races in countries I'd never heard of, table tennis, darts, it didn't matter. If I put money on it, I won.
Okay, and what's the reason of your call to customer care tonight?
Because I thought it would feel incredible. Instead, it feels like reading tomorrow's newspaper. There's no excitement anymore. I already know I'm going to win before the dealer even shuffles the cards, before kickoff, before the horses leave the gate. I've made millions, and I haven't enjoyed a single dollar of it.
Have you considered no longer gambling?
That's the problem. I can't stop. I still wake up wanting to bet. I still get that itch. Only now, there's never any risk. I'm still addicted. I'm just never satisfied.
I'm sorry, sir, but from what you're telling me, it sounds like your wish was granted successfully, and I'm not able to reverse or modify that wish.
Casinos don't even let me in anymore. Sports books close my accounts. People accuse me of cheating. Friends won't play cards with me. I wished I'd stopped losing. Instead, I lost the only part of gambling I actually love. I'd give every dollar back just to lose one hand. One honest hand.
Well, is there anything else I can assist you with tonight?
No, I guess not.
This call may be monitored and recorded. How can I help you?
Hi. I really don't know where to start here. I made a wish about 6 months ago, and I think that it worked. I just don't think I was supposed to see it this way.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm all ears and happy to discuss your experience with you, ma'am. You don't mind me asking, what was your wish?
I wished I could see the future. Nothing selfish. I wasn't trying to get rich or win the lottery. I've just always felt uncertain. I thought if I could see what was coming, maybe I'd worry a little less. Maybe I'd stop feeling like every tomorrow was waiting to surprise me.
Okay. And after you made this wish, what happened next?
And then one morning, I got an email. No sender, no subject line, just one sentence. Your page has been updated. Underneath it was a Wikipedia link with my name.
Did you recognize the website?
Yeah, it looked exactly like Wikipedia. Same layout, same logo, except there shouldn't have been a page about me. I'm nobody. I'm a high school English teacher. I almost deleted it, but curiosity got the better of me.
And what did the page contain?
Everything. Where I was born, my parents, where I went to college, my husband, my career. Everything was accurate. Then I scrolled down. There was a section describing something that hadn't happened yet. It said, on April 9th, Emily Carter was involved in a serious automobile collision while driving home from work. That was the next day.
And did that event occur?
Exactly the way it was written. Same road, same time, same hospital. Even the injuries matched. The next morning I checked again, and the article had changed. The accident wasn't written as the future anymore. It had become part of my life story, like it always been there.
Did you continue reading the page?
Every day. I couldn't stop. Every morning there was another update. My dog getting sick, my father breaking his hip, close friend moving away. Every single thing happened exactly the way the article said it would. After about 2 months, I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped opening the emails. I stopped checking the page. Pretended it didn't even exist.
When you stopped checking, did it improve your quality of life?
More than I expected. It felt like getting my life back. I wasn't waking up terrified of tomorrow anymore. My husband even told me I seemed happier. I started sleeping through the night again. For the first time in months, I stopped thinking about the future.
Very good. So why are you contacting customer care tonight, ma'am, or what can I do for you?
I looked again, just once. I told myself I was only checking to prove it was gone. There is another email waiting. Same sentence. Your page has been updated.
And what had changed?
The article ends tomorrow. There's a section called Death. It has tomorrow's date, my age, the town where it happens, even a photograph they're using beside the obituary. Is there a chance it's wrong?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Customer care can't tell you whether or not future events revealed by a wish are fixed or observed.
So you don't know?
No, ma'am. I don't. And hey, you may be sent a survey in regards to this call. Please take time to fill it out. Have a good evening.